Well, good morning, folks. This is Ship Ahoy 41 again, and today I'm doing a short video on my two favorite lures. I've got a floating Carolina rig on the left, and on the right, I have a basic jig under a slip floats that I make from pool noodles. Let's look at this Carolina rig first. On the bottom you have your basic sinker, and your bead, and a snap swivel. And coming up from the snap, you've got almost invisible 4-pound fishing line going up to my Carolina rig float that I make. As I zoom in closer, you'll see it's nothing more than a float that I have put onto a hook, tied a bit of yarn there using 210 flat waxed denier fly tying thread, and I use it to tie on just a little bit of yarn that does two things. It holds scent like slab sauce that you get from crappie.com, or any other scent that you want to put on your yarn. It holds it real good. The pink thing that you see there at the end of the hook represents a crappie nibble, for those of you that like crappie nibbles for scent. And then I've tied on 2 rubber legs. Now you can tie on 2 to 4 rubber legs, but you know that this completely floats, and I floated from 2 inches to 4 feet off the bottom. Usually if I'm fishing shell crackers and bluegills or perch, sometimes even a crappie, it's between 8 inches to 3 or 4 feet off the bottom. And I call that the KISS Carolina rig. KISS meaning keep it simple, stupid. It's simple, yet effective. My other favorite rig is using a slip float. And you'll notice on the slip float, I have a snap swivel, a 1/16 ounce jig. In this case, it's a jig that I made by wrapping a latex balloon around yarn to make the body, and then extending the yarn out the tail end so that it kind of resembles a tube type. And the vanilla thing that you see on top of the hook also represents a crappie nibble. I'll use a crappie nibble, or I'll put slab sauce on that yarn. I fish it on 6-pound test line, again almost invisible, going up to my weighted slip float sinker. And again, I make those out of pool noodles. Why do I use a slip float? It casts farther from the bank, and I can cast it more precisely to a particular area. So those are my two favorite ways to fish for panfish. I will use a slip float, and under that I have a jig tied on a snap swivel, or I will use the Carolina rig. In this case, my KISS Carolina rig. Keeping it simple, stupid. I found out it's more effective. It will float, and I usually float it 8 inches to 3 or 4 feet from the bottom of the lake. And it is deadly on all panfish. So this is Ship Ahoy 41 showing you definitively my 2 favorite ways to fish. God bless you. And this is Ship Ahoy 41. And I will see you on the water. Goodbye.